There's a rhythm to this land, a steady pulse you can feel right through the solace of your feet. It's the heartbeat of America, and it echoes strongest out here, on the open highway. You see it in the endless stretch of asphalt that disappears into the horizon, under a sky so wide it feels like it could hold every dream you've ever had. You feel it in the heat shimmering off the dusty plains, a landscape carved by time, weather, and the relentless spirit of those who dared to tame it. And you can hear it. Listen, it's not just the wind or the rustle of dry grass, it's a hum. A deep, resonant thrum of an engine built not just for the journey, but for the long haul. An engine built for endurance. This is where our story begins. It's a story about more than just a truck, because a Ram ... It's never just a truck. It's a promise forged in steel and fire. It's the silent partner you load up before the sun even thinks about rising. It's the trusted friend that carries the weight of your ambition, your hard work, your livelihood on its broad shoulders without a single complaint. Look at these hands. They've turned wrenches, they've built fences, they've held the reins, and they've gripped this wheel. There's a connection here, a bond that goes beyond horsepower and torque specs. It's an unspoken understanding. It's the feeling of settling into the driver's seat after a long day, the worn leather a familiar comfort. It's the confidence of knowing that whatever the job, whatever the challenge, you're not facing it alone. This machine is a symbol of freedom. The freedom to chase the sunset, to carve your own path where there isn't one, to answer the call of the wild or the demands of the worksite. It's the freedom to build something from nothing, with your own two hands and the unwavering power at your command. It's the spirit of the American dream made tangible. It's not about an easy life. It's about a life of purpose. It's about the satisfaction of a day's work well done, the quiet pride in seeing a project through, from a blueprint sketch to a finished reality. The dream isn't about getting something for free. It's about earning it. And this is the tool you use to earn it. From the quiet pre-dawn hours on the farm, when the world is still and full of potential, to the bustling energy of a construction site, where a new piece of the future is being raised from the ground up, the Ram is there. It's the backbone of the operation. It's the first to arrive and the last to leave. It hauls the materials, it tows the equipment, it navigates the mud and the gravel with a quiet, stubborn resolve. We see it in the faces of the people who drive them. The rancher, checking his fence line, his gaze fixed on the distant mountains. The contractor, her plans spread across the hood, mapping out the day's tasks. The weekend adventurer, loading up the kayaks and the camping gear, leaving the city in the rearview mirror in search of a different kind of peace. Each one has a different story, a different destination. But the thread that connects them all is this unshakable belief in self-reliance, in the power of hard work, and in a machine that's as dependable as the sunrise. This isn't just a vehicle, it's a legacy. A heritage of toughness passed down through generations. It's the memory of a grandfather's first truck, the lessons learned in its cab, the stories shared on long drives. It's the anticipation of passing that same spirit on, of teaching the value of grit, determination, and having the right partner for the road ahead. The connection between a person and their Ram is cinematic. It's written in the lines of their face, in the calluses on their hands, and in the way they look at the open road. It's an emotional link. It has the quiet nod of respect for a machine that asks for so little but gives so much. It's the confidence to say yes to the bigger trailer, the heavier load, the tougher trail. It's knowing that the power you need is right there, under your foot, waiting patiently to be unleashed. It's a partnership built on trust, tested by miles, and proven by a relentless dedication to getting the job done. So as the sun sets, painting the wide sky in shades of orange and purple, and the hum of the engine becomes a soothing soundtrack to the end of another day, take a moment. Take a moment to appreciate the spirit of the open road. The spirit of independence. The spirit of building, creating, and providing. This is more than a chapter in a story. It's the foundation. The understanding that at the heart of America, there's a drive, a passion, a work ethic that never quits. And there's a truck that embodies it all. A truck that is more than just a machine. It's a symbol of work, of freedom, and of the enduring American dream. It's a Ram. Thanks for joining us on this first leg of the journey. If this story resonates with you, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because we have so much more to share. We'd love to hear your own stories in the comments below. Until next time, keep driving forward. Welcome back to our journey through the history of one of America's most iconic truck brands. In this chapter, we're winding the clock all the way back to the very beginning, to a time before the Ram ever charged onto the scene. Let's just explore the humble beginnings of Dodge and discover how they built a legacy of toughness from day one. The story begins with two brothers, John and Horace Dodge. Before they ever put their own name on a vehicle, they were already titans of the automotive world. By the early 1900s, their machine shop was the go-to supplier for Detroit's burgeoning car industry. They were the engine and transmission wizards behind the curtain for brands like Olds Motor Works and, most famously, the Ford Motor Company. In fact, for nearly a decade, the Dodge brothers supplied almost every critical component for the legendary Ford Model T. They weren't just parts suppliers. They were the architects of early automotive reliability. But the brothers had bigger dreams. They were brilliant engineers and savvy businessmen, and they knew they could build a better car themselves. So in 1914, they broke away and founded the Dodge Brothers Motor Car Company. Their first vehicle, the Model 30, was an instant hit. Why? Because it was marketed as a car that was a step up from the competition, more robust, more reliable, and packed with innovative features for the time, like an all-steel body and a 12-volt electrical system. They weren't just building cars. They were building dependable machines. This reputation for dependability naturally led them into the world of work vehicles. While the pickup truck as we know it today was still in its infancy, the need for sturdy, reliable commercial vehicles was exploding. During World War I, Dodge answered the call. They built over 12,000 light-duty trucks and ambulances for the U.S. Army. These vehicles were put through the ultimate test on the battlefields of Europe, hauling supplies, transporting troops, and saving lives. They earned a nickname that would stick for decades: Dependable Dodge. Soldiers returning from the war knew firsthand what a Dodge was capable of, and that reputation came home with them. After the war, Dodge took that battlefield-proven toughness and applied it to their civilian offerings. In 1917, they introduced their first commercial half-ton chassis. This wasn't a fully built pickup like we see today. Instead, Dodge sold the rolling chassis, the frame, engine, transmission, and wheels. This allowed businesses, farmers, and tradesmen to customize the vehicle for their specific needs. They could add a simple wooden cargo box, a covered panel delivery body, or whatever else their work required. This modular approach was ingenious. It made the vehicle incredibly versatile and affordable, opening up motorized transportation to a whole new class of workers who previously relied on horse-drawn wagons. These early trucks were simple, rugged, and built to last. They weren't designed for comfort or style. They were designed for one thing: work. The engines were torquey, the frames were strong, and every component was overbuilt to handle the rough, unpaved roads of early 20th century America. Dodge wasn't just selling a vehicle. They were selling a promise of reliability. When you bought a Dodge, you knew you were getting a machine that wouldn't let you down when you needed it most. This was long before pickup culture became a mainstream phenomenon, before trucks were seen as family vehicles or lifestyle accessories. In these early days, a truck was a tool, and Dodge was building the best tool for the job. The tragic, untimely deaths of both John and Horace Dodge in 1920 could have spelled the end for the company. However, the foundation they had built was so strong that the company continued to thrive. It was eventually acquired by the Chrysler Corporation in 1928, a move that would secure its future and set the stage for even greater innovations. Under Chrysler's umbrella, Dodge continued to refine its truck offerings. They introduced the iconic Merchants Express, a stylish and capable delivery vehicle that became a common sight on Main Street, USA. Throughout the 1920s and into the Great Depression, Dodge trucks became synonymous with hard work and resilience. They were the unsung heroes of American commerce, helping build the nation's infrastructure, deliver its goods, and keep its farms running. While other companies struggled, Dodge's reputation for value and dependability helped them weather the economic storm. They proved that even in the toughest of times, people would always invest in a tool that they could count on day in and day out. So as you can see, the spirit of the Ram was alive, and well long before the name itself ever appeared on a tailgate. It was forged in the machine shops of Detroit, tested on the battlefields of France, and proven on the farms and job sites all across America. It was a spirit built on engineering excellence, uncompromising toughness, and a simple promise of dependability. The Dodge brothers set out to build a better vehicle, and in doing so, they created a legacy that would endure for over a century. They laid the groundwork for what would eventually become one of the most powerful and recognizable trucks in the world. Thanks for joining us on this trip back in time. It's incredible to see how the core values established over 100 years ago still define the brand today. In our next chapter, we'll see how Dodge evolved through the mid-20th century, introducing new innovations and iconic designs that would further cement its place in truck history. You won't want to miss it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure you resubscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss the next part of the story. See you then. The war was over. Soldiers were coming home, families were reuniting, and America was ready to build. In the heart of this post-war boom, a quiet revolution was taking place, not in the bustling cities, but on the dusty backroads, the sprawling farms, and the busy construction sites across the nation. This was the era where the pickup truck transformed from a simple utility vehicle into the undisputed backbone of American life. And at the forefront of this movement was a brand known for its rugged, no-nonsense approach to getting the job done. Dodge. Welcome to the story of how post-war America and the rise of the pickup shaped the very soul of what would one day become Ram. As the 1940s dawned, the country was healing and rebuilding. There was a sense of optimism, a can-do spirit that permeated everything. People weren't just looking for a vehicle. They were looking for a partner in rebuilding their lives, their businesses, and their communities. Dodge, having proven its mettle building military vehicles during the war, was perfectly positioned to answer that call. They understood that the farmers, the builders, and the small-town entrepreneurs needed something they could count on, day in and day out. Enter the Dodge B-Series pilot house cabs of the late 1940s. If you've ever seen one of these trucks, you know they just look tough. But the name Pilot House wasn't just a marketing gimmick. It represented a fundamental shift in truck design. For the first time, drivers had more glass, better visibility, and a more comfortable, commanding position behind the wheel. Dodge realized that a tired driver is an inefficient driver. By making the cab a better place to be, they weren't just selling comfort. They were selling productivity. These trucks were designed with higher and wider cabs, and had optional rear quarter windows that gave you a nearly 360-degree view. It was a simple, practical innovation, but it made a world of difference for the guy who spent 10 hours a day in his truck. And under the hood? The legendary flathead six-cylinder engine. It wasn't a powerhouse by today's standards, but it was incredibly reliable and easy to work on. You didn't need a team of specialized mechanics. If something went wrong out in the middle of a cornfield, a farmer with a decent set of tools could often get it running again. This was the essence of the Dodge philosophy: simple, durable, and dependable. As we rolled into the 1950s, America was falling in love with style. Cars were getting tail fins, chrome accents, and vibrant two-tone paint jobs. And while Dodge trucks remained focused on work, they weren't immune to the trends. The C-Series, introduced in 1954, brought a more modern look. It featured a wraparound windshield, a sleeker grille, and a more integrated design. But the biggest news wasn't just on the outside. This was the era that Dodge introduced its first V8 engine in a truck, the Power Dome Hemi. Suddenly, you could have style and serious muscle. This was a game changer. For the first time, a work truck could also have some get up and go. You could haul a load of lumber to the job site during the week and still have a truck that was respectable enough to drive into town on a Saturday night. This dual-purpose nature began to plant the seeds for the pickup's future as a personal vehicle, not just a tool. The 50s also saw Dodge get serious about four-wheel drive. While they built 4x4 South for the military, the Power Wagon became a legend among civilians. These things were unstoppable. Based on a military chassis, they were tall, rugged, and could claw their way through mud, snow, and anything else you threw at them. The Power Wagon wasn't for everyone. It was a specialized, hardcore tool. But it cemented Dodge's reputation for building the toughest trucks on the market. When you bought a Power Wagon, you were making a statement. You were saying that no terrain was off limits. This go-anywhere attitude would become a core tenet of the Ram brand decades later. Then came the 1960s, a decade of immense change. Dodge responded with the D-Series trucks, which ran from 1961 all the way to the early 90s in various forms. The early D-Series, affectionately known as swept-line trucks, had a unique style that was both handsome and utilitarian. But the real story of the 60s for Dodge trucks was what was happening under the sheet metal. This is when the engine options really started to explode. You could get the dependable slant 6, an engine so tough it's become the stuff of legend. Or you could step up to a range of powerful V8 South. Dodge was offering choice. They understood that the rancher in Montana had different needs than the contractor in Florida. This era also saw the introduction of the first ever crew cab pickup from a major manufacturer. Again, from Dodge in 1963. Think about that for a moment. Before this, if you needed to carry a work crew and tools, you needed 2 vehicles. Dodge said, why? They stretched the cab, added a second set of doors and a full-width back seat. It seems so obvious now, but at the time it was revolutionary. It was a direct response to the needs of their customers. They saw that work was becoming more collaborative, that a crew needed to get to the site together. The crew cab wasn't just about adding seats. It was about enhancing teamwork and efficiency. It was another example of Dodge not just building trucks, but building solutions. As we moved into the 1970s, the D-Series got a redesign. The look became boxier, tougher, more modern. This is the generation of trucks that many people remember from their childhoods. These were the trucks that just seemed to be everywhere, parked in driveways, covered in mud at construction sites, cruising down Main Street. The interiors became more car-like, with options like air conditioning and better stereos. The Adventurer and Club Cab models offered more features and more space, further blurring the line between a workhorse and a daily driver. The Club Cab, introduced in '73, was a clever compromise. It wasn't a full 4-door crew cab, but it offered secure, weatherproof space behind the front seat for valuable tools, groceries, or even a couple of small jump seats. It was perfect for the owner who needed more than a standard cab, but didn't want the size of a full crew cab. Throughout these 3 decades, from the late 40s to the late 70s, a clear identity was forged. Dodge trucks weren't always the flashiest or the most luxurious, but they were consistently seen as honest, hardworking, and incredibly durable. They earned the loyalty of people who used their hands, people who built things, people who depended on their vehicle to make a living. The values of this era: durability you can count on, innovation that serves a real purpose, and the power to tackle any job weren't just marketing slogans. They were proven, year after year, in the fields, on the job sites, and on the highways of America. This is the bedrock upon which the Ram brand was built. When Ram eventually became its own standalone brand, it didn't have to invent an identity. It inherited one. It inherited the legacy of the pilot house cabs, the brute force of the Power Wagon, the revolutionary thinking of the first crew cab, and the legendary toughness of the D-Series and the Slant 6 engine. It inherited the trust of generations of truck owners who knew that when you bought a Dodge, you were buying a promise of strength, reliability, and unwavering capability. The rise of the pickup in post-war America is a story about the country itself, and Dodge was right there in the driver's seat, helping to build the nation. Thanks so much for watching. This history is so rich, and it really shows you where the heart of today's trucks comes from. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. We love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know if your family had one of these classic Dodge trucks. We'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our deep dive into automotive history. Today, we're turning the clock back to a pivotal year. A year that would forever change the landscape of the American pickup truck. We're talking about 1981, the year the legend was officially born. Picture this, the early 80s. The world is changing, and so is the automotive industry. After years of producing reliable but perhaps understated D-Series trucks, Chrysler's Dodge division knew it was time for a revolution. They needed something bold, something that screamed power and durability. They needed a name and a symbol that would resonate with the heart of America. And so, in 1981, the Dodge Ram was unleashed upon the world. This wasn't just a simple rebranding. This was a statement. The name Ram wasn't pulled out of thin air. It was a callback, a revival of a powerful symbol that had graced Dodge vehicles decades earlier. But in 1981, it was given new life, a new purpose. The name itself evoked strength, the unstoppable force of a charging ram. It was simple, memorable, and powerful. But a name is only half the story. To truly capture the spirit of this new generation of trucks, Dodge needed an emblem, a visual icon that would be instantly recognizable. The answer was right there, in the name itself. The ram's head. This wasn't just a picture of an animal. It was a carefully chosen symbol, A modern coat of arms for a new breed of machine. So, where did this iconic ram's head come from? The design was spearheaded by Lee Iacocca, the legendary automotive executive who had taken the helm at Chrysler. Iacocca understood the power of branding better than anyone. He wanted an emblem that conveyed not just strength, but also courage and unwavering determination. He envisioned a logo that would look you straight in the eye and declare its toughness. The design process was meticulous. Early sketches explored different angles and styles, but the final version was a masterstroke of simplicity and impact. A forward-facing ram's head, sculpted with clean, strong lines. Its powerful, curved horns formed a protective arc, while its determined gaze projected confidence and resilience. It was more than a logo. It was a promise. A promise that this truck was built to lead, to charge ahead no matter the obstacle. It was tough, it was proud, and it was unapologetically American. This connection to American iconography is crucial. The bighorn sheep is a native symbol of the rugged, untamed American West. It represents resilience, the ability to thrive in the harshest environments. By adopting the ram's head, Dodge wasn't just selling a truck. They were tapping into a deep cultural wellspring of independence, strength, and the pioneering spirit. It was the perfect symbol for a vehicle designed to work hard, play hard, and conquer any terrain. When the first 1981 Dodge Ram trucks rolled off the assembly line, that gleaming chrome ram's head stood proudly on the hood. It was a declaration of a new era. For the first time, Dodge trucks had a distinct identity that set them apart from the competition. You didn't just see a truck coming down the road. You saw a Ram. The emblem became a badge of honor for owners, a symbol of the power and reliability they had at their command. This logo wasn't just a marketing gimmick. It reflected the engineering and design philosophy behind the trucks themselves. The 1981 Ram lineup featured redesigned bodies, improved fuel efficiency, and a host of new features. They were tougher, more capable, and more comfortable than their predecessors. The Ram Tough slogan wasn't just words. It was a reality backed by steel, horsepower, and a commitment to quality. The emblem on the hood was the seal of that commitment. Over the next decade, the Ram's head would become one of the most recognized logos in the entire automotive world. It graced the grilles and tailgates of millions of trucks. From the workhorse D150 to the heavy-duty D350, it became synonymous with durability and power. Whether it was hauling a heavy load on a construction site or navigating a muddy back road, that Ram emblem signified a truck that would not quit. The choice of this symbol in 1981 was a moment of branding genius. It perfectly encapsulated the product's identity and resonated deeply with its target audience. It spoke to the farmer, the contractor, the adventurer, anyone who demanded a vehicle that was as determined and resilient as they were. The birth of the Ram emblem wasn't just the creation of a logo. It was the birth of an identity, a legacy that continues to charge forward to this day. It's amazing to think how one symbol, chosen over 4 decades ago, could come to represent so much. It's a testament to the power of a clear vision and a deep understanding of what makes a brand truly iconic. The Ram's head wasn't just stuck on the truck. It was woven into its very DNA. Thanks so much for joining me on this trip back to 1981. It's incredible to see how this one decision shaped the future of an entire brand. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next chapter in our automotive journey. We've got plenty more stories to tell. Until next time, keep on driving. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're time-traveling back to the 1980s, an era of big hair, bold music, and even bolder trucks. This is the story of how a simple 2-word slogan didn't just sell trucks. It built a legend. This is Chapter 5, Ram Tough, a marketing masterstroke. Picture this: the American truck market is a battlefield. Ford, Chevy, and Dodge are locked in a fierce battle for supremacy. Dodge, needing an edge, decided to do something radical. They didn't just want to build a tough truck. They needed everyone to asterisk. No asterisk, it was the toughest. The answer wasn't just in the steel and the engine. It was in the story they told. Enter the Ram Tough campaign. Launched in the early 80s, this wasn't just advertising. It was a declaration of war. The commercials were gritty, raw, and unapologetic. You'd see Rams hauling massive loads, conquering impossible terrain, and standing tall against the elements. The imagery was powerful. A muscular Ram truck, often covered in mud, taking on any challenge thrown its way. The voiceovers were deep, resonant, and filled with conviction, speaking directly to the heart of the American worker. This campaign was brilliant because it tapped into a core American value, resilience. It wasn't just about the truck's capabilities. It was about the spirit of the person behind the wheel. The slogan "Ram Tough" became a mirror, reflecting the self-image of its target audience. You weren't just buying a vehicle. You were buying into an identity. You were tough, reliable, and capable of handling anything life threw at you, just like your truck. Think about the psychological impact. While competitors were talking about features and specifications, Dodge was talking about character. They were selling a feeling, an attitude. The iconic Ram hood ornament, which had been around for decades, suddenly had a new, powerful meaning. It was a symbol of strength, of head-on determination. The truck and its driver were one and the same, unbreakable. The commercials often featured real-world scenarios that truck owners could relate to. A construction site foreman relying on his Ram to get the job done, a farmer crossing a muddy field after a storm. These weren't actors in a studio. They were portrayals of everyday heroes, and the Ram was their trusted companion. This authenticity resonated deeply with buyers. It made the Ram Tough promise feel genuine and earned. Let's break down one of those classic ads. The scene opens on a desolate, rocky landscape. A storm is brewing. A lone Dodge Ram pickup appears, its headlights cutting through the gloom. The narrator's voice, gravelly and confident, begins, "When the going gets tough, the tough get a Ram." We then see a montage of the truck performing incredible feats, pulling a stuck semi-trailer, navigating a treacherous mountain pass, its suspension flexing but never breaking. The final shot? The Ram, silhouetted against a dramatic sky, with the words "Ram Tough" emblazoned on the screen. It was pure cinematic gold for truck lovers. This aggressive marketing paid off spectacularly. Sales surged. Dodge Ram, once a contender, was now a titan of the industry. The brand had carved out a unique space in the cultural landscape. Ram Tough entered the common lexicon. People would use the phrase to describe anything or anyone that was particularly resilient or durable. It was the ultimate marketing win. Your brand slogan becomes a part of everyday language. The Ram Tough era also solidified the truck's design philosophy. The rugged, no-nonsense look of the Ram trucks of the 80s and early 90s was a physical manifestation of the slogan. The squared-off body, the bold grille, the imposing stance, it all screamed tough. The design and the marketing were in perfect harmony, creating a cohesive and incredibly compelling brand identity. But it wasn't just about perception. Dodge backed it up with real engineering. They introduced the Cummins turbo diesel engine into their consumer pickups in 1989. This was a game-changer. The Cummins engine was legendary in the commercial trucking world for its power and reliability. Putting it in a Ram was a masterstroke, giving the Ram Tough slogan a new level of credibility. Now, Dodge not only looked the part but had the powerhouse under the hood to prove it. The combination of a legendary engine and legendary marketing was unstoppable. Ram owners became some of the most loyal brand advocates you could find. They were proud of their trucks because their trucks represented their own values. This created a community, a brotherhood of Ram owners who shared a common identity. The Ram Tough campaign didn't just sell trucks, it built a tribe. Decades later, the legacy of Ram Tough endures. While marketing slogans have evolved, the core identity of the Ram truck remains rooted in the foundation built in the 1980s. It's a testament to the power of a great story. Dodge didn't just tell people their trucks were tough. They showed them. They made them feel it. They turned a machine of metal and rubber into a cultural icon, a symbol of American grit and perseverance. And that's the magic of marketing. It's about connecting a product to a human emotion, to an ideal. The Ram Tough campaign is a masterclass in how to do it right. It transformed a brand, defined a generation of trucks, and left an indelible mark on American culture. It proved that sometimes the most powerful tool isn't a wrench or a welder, but a well-chosen word. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of the most iconic marketing campaigns in automotive history. What are your memories of the Ram Tough era? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories from the world of wheels. We'll see you in the next one. In the last chapter, we saw Ram trucks conquer the American landscape, becoming a symbol of rugged independence. But what truly makes a legend? It's not just about looks or legacy. It's about what's under the hood and the very bones of the machine. Today, in Chapter 6, we're going deep into the heart of the factory. to uncover the craftsmanship, the engineering, and the sheer grit that forged America's workhorse. This is the story of the steel, the sweat, and the souls that built the Ram truck from the ground up. So what's the secret sauce? Let's start with the heart of any truck, the engine. From the very beginning, Ram and Dodge before it understood that power wasn't just a number on a spec sheet. It was about reliable, relentless torque. We're talking about the legendary power plants that became household names. Think of the early slant six engines, famously over-engineered for durability. These weren't just motors. They were steadfast partners for farmers, construction workers, and adventurers who couldn't afford a day off. Then came the V8 South, the mighty HEM is, and of course the game-changer, the Cummins turbodiesel. When Dodge first partnered with Cummins in 1989, it wasn't just a new engine option. It was a revolution. Here was a commercial-grade diesel, known for powering massive rigs and industrial equipment, now available in a pickup truck for the everyday person. It offered unparalleled torque and longevity. We found archival footage of engineers from that era, and one of them, a man named Frank Jensen, put it perfectly. He said, "We weren't just putting a bigger engine in a truck. We were giving people the power to pull their worlds behind them, a house, a business, a dream." The Cummins could handle it. That philosophy of providing overwhelming capability became a core part of Ram's DNA. It wasn't about being just good enough. It was about being more than enough. But an engine is only as good as the frame it's bolted to. And Ram has always been obsessed with the backbone of their trucks. Early on, they pioneered the use of high-strength steel when others were still using milder grades. They understood that a truck's frame is its skeleton, responsible for carrying the load, absorbing the punishment of a rough work site, and keeping the driver safe. We spoke to a retired factory worker, Maria Flores, who spent 30 years on the assembly line. She remembered the sheer weight and thickness of the frame rails. "You could just feel the strength," she told us. "You knew you were building something that would last." My father drove a Dodge, I built them, and my son drives a Ram. It's not just a job. It's a family tradition of building something solid, something real. This commitment to a strong foundation is still evident today. Ram's focus on frame stiffness isn't just for heavy hauling. It directly translates to a better ride, less cabin noise, and more precise handling. It's the unsung hero of the truck. While everyone talks about horsepower and towing capacity, it's the frame that quietly does the heavy lifting, day in and day out for decades. The engineers knew that the chassis had to be the strongest link, not the weakest. They tested these frames in brutal conditions, twisting them, overloading them, and subjecting them to a lifetime of abuse in a matter of weeks, all to ensure they wouldn't fail when it mattered most. Innovation at Ram wasn't always about revolutionary leaps. Often, it was about thoughtful, practical improvements that made a real difference in a person's workday. Take, for example, the evolution of the truck bed. It seems simple, right? A box to hold stuff, but Ram engineers saw it as a workspace. They experimented with different materials, lighting solutions, and cargo management systems long before they were trendy. And then, in 2009, came the Ram box. It was a stroke of genius. Instead of leaving the space over the rear wheel wells empty and wasted, they turned it into secure, drainable, and lockable storage. It was a simple idea, born from listening to truck owners. We found an old design brief, and the lead engineer had written a note in the margin. Where does a guy put his tools so they don't get stolen, or his drinks so they don't roll around? The Ram box was the answer. It showed that Ram wasn't just building a vehicle. They were building a tool, and every part of that tool had to be useful. It was a perfect example of how the brand's identity was shaped not just by big engines, but by small, clever details that respected the user's needs. This user-centric design philosophy extends inside the cab, too. For years, truck interiors were an afterthought, basic, utilitarian, and uncomfortable. Ram challenged that. They recognized that for many owners, their truck is their office, their lunchroom, and their family vehicle, all in one. They needed a space that was both tough and comfortable. So Ram invested heavily in interior design and materials. They introduced features like the Uconnect infotainment system when competitors still had basic radios. They used higher quality materials, focused on ergonomics, and created a cabin that was a genuinely pleasant place to spend 8, 10, or 12 hours a day. A former interior designer for the brand, David Chun, explained their guiding principle. The guy driving this truck works harder than anyone. The least we can do is give him a comfortable chair and controls that make sense. He shouldn't have to fight the truck while he's trying to do his job. His focus on the driver's experience, treating the cab as a command center rather than just a bench seat and a steering wheel, helped redefine what a modern pickup truck could be. It cemented Ram's reputation as a brand that builds not just for the work, but for the worker. All these elements, the powerful engines, the robust frames, the practical innovations, and the comfortable interiors, didn't just happen by accident. They were the result of a culture of craftsmanship, a deep-seated pride in the work. From the engineer sketching a new suspension geometry to the technician on the line torquing a bolt to the perfect specification, there was a shared understanding. They were building more than just a truck. They were building a promise. A promise of dependability. A promise that when you turn the key, it will start. When you hitch up a trailer, it will pull. When you're miles from home on a dirt road, it will get you back safely. Looking through the archives, you see photos of the workers. There's a look of focus and pride on their faces. These weren't just assembly line jobs. These were careers dedicated to building the best. They were the anonymous architects of Ram's reputation. Their dedication is the reason the brand's identity is so deeply rooted in reliability. It was forged in the heat of the foundry, welded into every frame, and bolted into every engine. The story of Ram is the story of these people. So, as we look at the gleaming, powerful Ram trucks on the road today, it's important to remember where they came from. They are the descendants of a long line of workhorses, built by generations of dedicated men and women who poured their expertise and their pride into every single vehicle. The legacy of America's workhorse isn't just written in marketing slogans. It's written in steel powered by innovation and validated by millions of miles of hard work. Next time, we'll explore how Ram took this foundation of dependability and used it to launch an all-out assault on the competition, creating some of the most iconic and memorable rivalries in automotive history. It's going to be a wild ride. Thanks so much for joining us on this journey. If you're enjoying this series, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next chapter. We love reading your comments, so let us know your favorite Ram innovation down below. See you next time. Welcome back to our journey through pickup truck history. Today, we're hitting a pivotal moment, a real earthquake that shook the entire industry. We're talking about the 1990s, an era of change and one truck that completely rewrote the rulebook. Get ready for Chapter 7, the 1990s redesign revolution. Before 1994, the pickup truck world was, let's say, a bit predictable. Designs were functional, boxy, and hadn't seen a dramatic shift in decades. Trucks were tools, first and foremost. But the folks over at Dodge were cooking up something radical. They weren't just thinking about a new truck. They were thinking about a new identity for the American pickup. The result? The 1994 Dodge Ram. And folks, it changed everything asterisk. Let's set the stage. By the early 90s, Dodge's truck lineup was looking seriously dated. Their designs were carryovers from the 1970s, and they were getting hammered in the sales charts by Ford and Chevy. They were a distant third, and something drastic needed to happen. The project, codenamed Phoenix, was Dodge's do-or-die attempt to rise from the ashes. The design team, led by visionaries like Bob Lutz and Tom Gale, knew that a simple evolutionary update wouldn't cut it. They needed a revolution. Their inspiration came from an unexpected place: the massive, powerful Class 8 semi-trucks that dominate America's highways. They looked at those big rigs, with their towering grills, muscular fenders, and commanding presence, and asked, why can't a pickup have that same kind of attitude? It was a daring question. The prevailing wisdom was that truck buyers were conservative. They wanted familiar. They didn't want a mini Kenworth, but the Dodge team decided to bet big. They threw out the old flat-nosed design and went all in on what would become the Ram's signature look: a massive, forward-leaning crosshair grille that was completely separate from the headlights and fenders that dropped down below the hood line just like a big rig. It was bold, it was aggressive, and it was unlike anything else on the road. When the cover came off, jaws dropped. Critics were divided. Some called it a cartoon, a caricature of a truck. Others hailed it as a stroke of genius. But the most important verdict would come from the buyers, and boy did the buyers speak. Sales didn't just increase. They exploded. In 1993, Dodge sold under 100,000 trucks. The revolution wasn't just skin deep. Inside, Dodge completely rethought the pickup cabin. For years, truck interiors had been an afterthought, cramped utilitarian spaces with hard plastics and basic benches. The new Ram offered a car-like experience. It was the first full-size pickup to offer a standard driver-side airbag. The cab was pushed forward, creating the roomiest interior in its class. They focused on ergonomics, creating a dashboard that was both functional and aesthetically pleasing. They added clever storage solutions, like a massive center console that could hold a laptop, something unheard of at the time. It was a mobile office, a family hauler, and a workhorse all in one. Dodge understood that people were starting to use their trucks as daily drivers, and they designed the interior to match that reality. The powertrain options were just as impressive. While you could still get a reliable V6 or V8, the star of the show was the legendary Cummins turbo diesel. This engine was already a favorite among serious haulers, and pairing it with the new Ram's revolutionary design created the ultimate power and style combination. You could now have a truck that looked like a heavyweight champion and pulled like one, too. This solidified the Ram's reputation as a serious, heavy-duty contender. The impact of the 1994 Ram cannot be overstated. It was a wake-up call for Ford and GM. Suddenly, their designs looked stagnant. They were forced to respond, leading to a new era of design competition in the truck market. Ford's F-150 eventually adopted a more rounded, aerodynamic look, while Chevy's Silverado bulked up to compete with the Ram's muscular stance. The '94 Ram created the modern blueprint for pickup design. Be bold, be aggressive, and don't be afraid to make a statement. It also became a pop culture icon. You started seeing the new Ram everywhere in movies, on TV shows, driven by action heroes. It transcended its role as a vehicle and became a symbol of '90s American industrial might and design confidence. It was so influential that it was even featured in an exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art as an example of outstanding design. Think about that: a pickup truck, celebrated as a piece of art. That's the power of the Phoenix Project. The design team's gamble paid off in a way they probably never even imagined. They didn't just save Dodge's truck division. They redefined the entire segment. They proved that truck buyers were ready for something new, something exciting. They proved that function and form could not only coexist but could amplify each other. The '94 Ram wasn't just a new model. It was a new philosophy. A philosophy that says a truck can be tough and sophisticated, rugged and comfortable, a work tool and a status symbol. Every modern truck you see on the road today, with its prominent grille, muscular body lines, and luxurious interior, owes a debt of gratitude to the 1994 Dodge Ram. It was the truck that broke the mold and set the stage for the next 3 decades of pickup evolution. It was a true revolution on 4 wheels. Thank you so much for joining us for this look back at a game-changing moment in truck history. It's a testament to the power of bold thinking. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next chapter. We love hearing from you, so drop a comment below. Did you or your family own one of these revolutionary Rams? Share your story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. For decades, the American pickup truck market was a 2-horse race. You were either a Ford person or a Chevy person. It was a rivalry as old as the trucks themselves, etched into the bedrock of American culture. But in the late '80s and early '90s, a third challenger, tired of being an afterthought, decided to throw its hat into the ring with a vengeance. This is the story of how a quiet rivalry turned into an all-out war. This is the story of the pickup wars, Ram versus Ford versus Chevy. For years, Dodge trucks were, well, they were there. They were solid, dependable workhorses, but they lacked the flair, the brand loyalty, and the sheer sales numbers of the Big Two. Ford's series wasn't just a truck. It was an institution, the best-selling vehicle in America for what felt like an eternity. Chevrolet, with its Silverado and its famous "Like a Rock" campaign, held a firm grip on the number 2 spot. They were the Coke and Pepsi of the truck world. Dodge was, at best, RC Cola, but something was brewing over at Chrysler. They knew they couldn't just build a slightly better version of the competition. They had to do something radical, something that would make everyone stop and stare. In 1994, they did just that. The second-generation Dodge Ram didn't just roll onto the scene, it crashed the party. With its massive, separated fenders and a grille that looked like it was ripped straight off a Kenworth semi-truck, it was a design revolution. It was bold, aggressive, and completely unapologetic. People called it the big rig look, and it was a stroke of genius. For the first time, a truck wasn't just trying to be tough. It was styled to look like the toughest thing on the road. This wasn't just a cosmetic makeover either. Under that imposing hood, Dodge offered the legendary Cummins turbo diesel. While Ford and Chevy had their own diesels, the Cummins was renowned for its industrial-grade torque and reliability. It was a powerhouse that solidified Ram's reputation as a serious hauler. They also focused on the interior. The cab was spacious, the seats were comfortable, and it was designed with the driver in mind. Dodge understood something crucial. Trucks were no longer just for the job site. They were becoming daily drivers, family vehicles, and status symbols. The 1994 Ram was a direct response to this evolving market. The effect was immediate. Ram sales skyrocketed. Ford and Chevy, who had been comfortably slugging it out for decades, suddenly had to look over their shoulders. The war was on. The competition, which had been a steady simmer, boiled over. The following years became an arms race for truck supremacy. The battle was fought on multiple fronts. First, there was horsepower and torque. Every new model year brought a game of one-upmanship. Ford would announce a new Power-Stroke diesel with more torque, and a year later, Chevy would answer with an updated Duramax. Then Ram would fire back with an even more powerful Cummins. The numbers just kept climbing, pushing the boundaries of what a consumer-grade truck could do. Towing capacities that were once the exclusive domain of commercial rigs were now being advertised on primetime television. Then came the battle for luxury. The Spartan, rubber-floored work truck was becoming a thing of the past. All three manufacturers started pouring luxury features into their top-tier trims. Ford had the King Ranch, with its premium saddle leather. Chevy had the High Country. But Ram, once again, took it to another level. They introduced trims like the Laramie Longhorn, with intricate filigree stitching, real wood accents, and a level of interior craftsmanship that rivaled luxury sedans. They pioneered features like the Ram Box cargo management system, a clever storage solution built into the sides of the truck bed. They were the first to offer a coil spring rear suspension on their heavy-duty trucks, providing a smoother ride without sacrificing capability, a move that was initially mocked by competitors but later quietly copied. The marketing battles were just as fierce. Ford leaned into its legacy. Built Ford Tough, a slogan that communicated decades of reliability and #1 status. Chevy continued its Like a Rock theme, emphasizing durability and dependability, often featuring real people and their stories. Ram, as the challenger, had to be different. Their marketing was edgier, more confident, almost defiant. Think of the God Made a Farmer Super Bowl ad. It wasn't just selling the truck. It was selling an identity, a set of values. It was brilliant. They positioned themselves as the smart, bold choice for those who weren't afraid to stand out from the herd. This intense, three-way rivalry has been one of the best things to ever happen to the truck buyer. The constant pressure to innovate has given us trucks that are more powerful, more efficient, more comfortable, and safer than ever before. The competition forced Ford to make its bold move to an aluminum body for the F-150 to save weight and improve fuel economy. It pushed Chevy to continually refine its ride and handling. And it forced Ram to keep swinging for the fences with game-changing interiors and features. The Ram's journey from a distant third place to a legitimate contender is one of the great stories in automotive history. It wasn't just about building a good truck. It was about understanding the culture and the heart of the American truck owner. They knew that truck buyers wanted more than just a tool. They wanted a partner, a statement piece, a mobile command center. By taking big risks with design, by focusing on interior quality, and by embracing a powerful challenger brand identity, Ram didn't just join the fight. It changed the rules of the game. Today, the battle lines are still clearly drawn. The F-Series still holds the sales crown, but the gap has narrowed considerably. The Silverado remains a formidable force. And the Ram, once the underdog, now regularly trades punches with Chevy for the #2 spot, sometimes even claiming it. The pickup wars are far from over. This constant state of conflict ensures one thing. For the American truck buyer, the best is always yet to come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into truck history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more chapters. We'll see you in the next one. Welcome back to our series on the titans of the truck world. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of the beast, exploring what truly makes a Ram. A Ram. This is Chapter 9, Power and Performance. Under the hood, when you think of a Ram truck, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For millions, it's one word: power. And that reputation wasn't built overnight. It was forged in steel, fire, and a relentless pursuit of engineering excellence. Let's pop the hood and see what makes these machines roar. Our story of power begins in 1989. Dodge, in a move that would forever change the landscape of pickup trucks, partnered with a company renowned for its industrial-strength diesel engines, Cummins. The introduction of the 5.9-liter 12-valve Cummins inline-six into the Dodge Ram was nothing short of revolutionary. Before this, diesel engines in consumer trucks were often seen as slow, noisy, and unrefined. But the Cummins was different. It delivered a seismic 400 pound-feet of torque, a number unheard of in its class at the time. This wasn't just an engine. It was a statement. Suddenly, truck owners could tow heavier loads, climb steeper grades, and do it all with a reliability that was legendary in the commercial and agricultural sectors. The distinctive rattle and immense pulling power of the Cummins diesel became the soundtrack of America's toughest jobs, from hauling hay bales on the farm to pulling fifth-wheel trailers across the country. This partnership cemented Ram's identity as the go-to truck for serious work. As the years rolled on, the Cummins engine evolved, becoming more powerful, more efficient, and quieter, but never losing its soul. The 24-valve, the common rail fuel injection systems, and the increase in displacement to 6.7 liters, each step was a leap forward. Ram and Cummins weren't just keeping up with the competition, they were setting the bar. They were the first to break the 500, then 600, and eventually the incredible 1,000 pound-foot torque barrier in a factory pickup. Think about that for a moment. 1,000 pound-feet of torque, straight from the dealership. This wasn't just about winning a numbers game. It was about giving real-world capability to the people who needed it most. It's the reason you see so many Rams on construction sites, ranches, and pulling massive campers on the interstate. The Cummins diesel is more than just an option. It's a cornerstone of the Ram legacy. But the story of Ram's power isn't just written in diesel fuel. On the gasoline side of the garage, another legend was waiting to be reborn. I'm talking, of course, about the HEMI. The name itself is iconic, harking back to the muscle car glory days of the 1960s. When Dodge reintroduced the Hemi V8 in the early 2000s, it wasn't just a nostalgic nod to the past. It was a thunderous announcement of modern performance. The 5.7-liter Hemi V8 brought a potent combination of horsepower and torque to the Ram 1500, giving drivers a thrilling experience behind the wheel. Its hemispherical combustion chambers, a design that promotes more efficient airflow and combustion, gave the engine its name and its character. The result was a truck that was as comfortable cruising down the highway as it was leaving others in the dust at a stoplight. The deep, guttural rumble of a Hemi-powered Ram is unmistakable and a major part of its appeal. It gave buyers a powerful, reliable gasoline option that didn't require stepping up to a heavy-duty diesel. Ram didn't stop there. They knew that power is nothing without control and durability. This meant engineering the entire truck around the engine's capabilities. They beefed up frames with high-strength steel, developed robust transmissions like the Aisin and the TorqueFlite 8-speed, and engineered sophisticated suspension systems. Take the multi-link coil spring rear suspension introduced on the Ram 1500. It was a radical departure from the traditional leaf springs used by competitors. Critics were skeptical at first, but the result was a game-changer. It provided a smoother, more comfortable ride without sacrificing payload or towing capacity. It proved that a work truck didn't have to ride like one. Then came the optional air suspension, offering adjustable ride height for better aerodynamics on the highway, easier loading in the back, and increased ground clearance for off-road adventures. This holistic approach marrying raw power with intelligent engineering is what sets Ram apart. They understood that a great truck isn't just about having the biggest engine. It's about how the entire package works together in perfect, powerful harmony. And then, Ram decided to unleash a monster. They took the supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8 from the Dodge Challenger Hellcat, an engine known for its face-melting 702 horsepower, and shoehorned it into a Ram 1500. The result was the TRX. This wasn't just a powerful truck. It was a supertruck, a new category all its own. The TRX wasn't built for just towing. It was built for flying. It was engineered to dominate the desert at triple-digit speeds, with a reinforced frame, long travel suspension, and advanced Bilstein shocks. The whine of the supercharger combined with the roar of the V8 created a symphony of pure, unadulterated power. The TRX was a halo vehicle, a bold declaration that Ram wasn't afraid to push the absolute limits of what a pickup truck could be. It became an instant icon, a testament to Ram's commitment to being the undisputed king of performance in the truck world. It showed that the same brand that builds the world's most capable heavy-duty haulers can also build its most insane off-road predator. From the relentless torque of the Cummins diesel that reshaped an industry, to the legendary rumble of the Hemi V8 that brought muscle car soul to a pickup, Ram's story is fundamentally a story of power. It's about engineers who weren't satisfied with good enough. It's about understanding that the heart of a truck is its engine, and its soul is the work it can accomplish. Thank you so much for joining us under the hood today. If you love trucks and the incredible engineering that goes into them, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next chapter. We have so much more to explore. Let us know in the comments which Ram engine is your favorite. Until next time, keep on trucking. Welcome back to our series where today, we're diving into Chapter 10, Comfort Meets Capability. This is the story of how one brand completely redefined what a truck could be. Let's rewind the clock a bit. For decades, trucks were seen as one thing and one thing only: tools. They were rugged, they were tough, and they were built to work. Comfort? That was an afterthought, if it was a thought at all. The interiors were basic, the rides were bumpy, and the noise in the cabin was just part of the deal. If you wanted to haul something heavy, you accepted that you were in for a rough ride. It was a simple trade-off. Capability came at the cost of comfort. But then, Ram came along and asked a revolutionary question: why can't you have both? This question would change the entire pickup truck landscape forever. Ram looked at the bare-bones workhorse and saw the potential for something more, a vehicle that could tow a massive trailer on Friday and take the family on a comfortable road trip on Saturday. The transformation began inside. Ram started by tearing up the old rulebook for truck interiors. They replaced hard, unforgiving plastics with soft-touch materials. They introduced premium leathers, genuine wood trim, and meticulous craftsmanship that you typically find in a luxury sedan. Suddenly, climbing into a truck felt less like clocking in for a job, and more like settling into your favorite armchair. The dashboard was redesigned not just for function but for form, with intuitive layouts and elegant displays that were a world away from the utilitarian gauges of the past. But a beautiful interior is only half the battle if the ride still rattles your teeth. So, Ram's engineers turned their attention to the cabin experience itself. They added layers of sound-deadening material throughout the body, installed acoustic glass to block out wind and road noise, and even used active noise cancellation technology in some models. The result was a cabin so quiet you could have a conversation without shouting over the engine. It was a sanctuary on wheels, a peaceful escape from the noisy world outside. Perhaps the most groundbreaking innovation, however, happened underneath the truck. This was where Ram truly separated itself from the pack. They challenged the decades-old leaf spring suspension system, a design that was strong but notoriously harsh. In its place, Ram introduced a revolutionary multi-link coil spring rear suspension. For the first time in a mainstream heavy-duty truck, ride quality wasn't compromised for payload capacity. The coils absorbed bumps and road imperfections with an incredible smoothness that was simply unheard of in a pickup. And they didn't stop there. Ram took it a step further with the available active level 4-corner air suspension. This system was pure genius. It could automatically lower the truck for easier entry and exit, or for better aerodynamics on the highway. When you needed to clear an obstacle off-road, you could raise it for extra ground clearance. And when you hooked up a heavy trailer, the system would automatically level the truck, ensuring a stable, confident towing experience. It was the ultimate fusion of smart technology and brute strength. This focus on comfort and refinement wasn't just about adding features. It was a fundamental shift in philosophy. Ram understood that modern truck owners weren't just contractors and ranchers anymore. They were families, adventurers, and everyday drivers who used their trucks for everything. They needed a vehicle that could seamlessly transition from a worksite powerhouse to a daily driver without any compromises. The market responded with overwhelming enthusiasm. Drivers who had never considered a truck before were suddenly drawn to the Ram's unique blend of luxury and utility. It became the vehicle that could do it all. You could load up the bed with lumber for a weekend project, and then clean it out to take your friends to a fancy dinner in the city, all in the same day. Ram proved that you didn't have to choose between a comfortable daily driver and a capable work truck. You could have the best of both worlds in one incredible package. This evolution turned the pickup from a niche tool into a mainstream marvel. Other manufacturers took notice and started playing catch-up, but Ram had already set the new standard. They had successfully transformed the humble pickup into a true everyday luxury vehicle. They demonstrated that strength and sophistication weren't mutually exclusive. In fact, when combined, they create something truly special. And that's the legacy of this chapter. Ram didn't just build a better truck. They created a whole new category of vehicle. They showed the world that a workhorse could also be a thoroughbred, proving once and for all that real capability is most powerful when it's comfortable. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the evolution of the pickup. It's a testament to innovation and listening to what drivers truly want. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next chapter. We have so much more to explore. See you in the next one. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're shifting gears from horsepower and torque to talk about something just as powerful: cultural impact. We're diving deep into Chapter 11 of our series, the Ram in pop culture. How did a truck become more than just a vehicle? How did it drive its way into the heart of movies, music, and our collective imagination? Let's find out. From the moment it rolled off the assembly line, the Ram truck was designed to be different. It was bold, powerful, and unapologetic. It wasn't just a tool, it was a statement. And Hollywood noticed. One of the most iconic early appearances has to be in the 1996 blockbuster, Twister. Remember Bill Paxton's dusty, beat-up, but utterly dependable Dodge Ram 2500? That truck wasn't just transportation. It was a character. It was his partner in chasing the most dangerous storms on the planet. It got battered, bruised, and flung around, but it never quit. It perfectly embodied the film's theme of resilience against the overwhelming power of nature. That red Ram became a symbol of grit, a trusted companion that would see you through the worst of it. It wasn't a shiny, perfect truck. It was a survivor, and audiences loved it for that. This survivor image became a recurring theme. Think about countless action movies and TV shows where the hero, or even the rugged anti-hero, needs a vehicle that can handle anything thrown at it. What do they often drive? A Ram. It's the go-to choice for characters who are tough, independent, and live by their own rules. The truck's aggressive stance and powerful presence on screen instantly communicate these traits without a single word of dialogue. It's visual storytelling at its finest. The Ram becomes a piece of the character's identity, a steel and rubber extension of their own toughness. But the Ram's influence isn't just confined to the silver screen. It found a natural home in the soul of America, country music. If you turn on any country radio station, you won't have to wait long to hear a song about dirt roads, small towns, and you guessed it, a trusty pickup truck. Artists from superstars to up-and-comers have name-dropped Ram in their lyrics, and it's not just for rhyming convenience. In country music, the truck is a vessel for memories. It's where you had your first date, where you blasted your favorite songs with the windows down, and where you learned life lessons from your dad. The Ram, specifically, is often portrayed as the pinnacle of this ideal. Lyrics often paint a picture of the Ram as a symbol of freedom in the American heartland. It represents a connection to a simpler, more authentic way of life. When a singer croons about kicking up dust in my Ram, they're not just talking about driving. They're evoking a feeling of breaking away from the 9-to-5, of being in control of your own destiny, and of staying true to your roots. The truck is a rolling tribute to hard work, family values, and the pride of building something with your own two hands. It's no wonder that in the landscape of country music, the Ram is king of the road. It embodies the very ethos that the genre celebrates. Now, let's talk about commercials. This is where the brand itself gets to craft its own narrative, and Ram has done it masterfully. For years, their advertising has leaned heavily on this idea of grit, integrity, and service. Who can forget the Farmer commercial that aired during the Super Bowl? It used a powerful speech by radio broadcaster Paul Harvey set against a backdrop of stunning still photographs of American farmers. The ad barely showed the truck itself. Instead, it focused on the values of the people who would drive it: hard work, dedication, and humility. The tagline, "To the farmer in all of us," was brilliant. It wasn't just selling a truck. It was selling an identity. It was telling viewers, this is who we are, and this is who you are. This truck is for people with heart. This campaign, and others like it, cemented the Ram's image as more than just a vehicle for hauling and towing. It became a metaphor for the resilient spirit of the American worker. They followed this up with ads honoring police officers, firefighters, and linemen, the everyday heroes who keep our country running. The message was consistent and clear. Ram trucks are built for those who serve, for those who build, and for those who persevere. This marketing strategy was incredibly effective because it was authentic. It tapped into a deep-seated respect for blue-collar values and positioned the Ram as the official vehicle of the American backbone. This connection to heartland pride is powerful. Driving a Ram, for many, is a statement of identity. It says you value strength, reliability, and you're not afraid of a little mud on the tires. It's a badge of honor. This isn't just clever marketing. It's a reflection of a real cultural phenomenon. People form communities around these trucks. You'll see convoys of Ram owners heading to events, online forums with thousands of members sharing tips and stories, and a genuine sense of camaraderie. The brand has fostered a tribe. Looking at movies, music, and advertising together, a clear picture emerges. The Ram truck has been successfully immortalized as a symbol. It's the steel-bodied embodiment of resilience. In Twister, it withstands the storm. In country songs, it carries the weight of memories and dreams. In commercials, it honors the spirit of the worker. In each case, the narrative is the same. When things get tough, the Ram gets going. It's a metaphor for pushing through adversity, for not giving up, and for the quiet strength that defines the American spirit. This evolution from a simple work vehicle to a cultural icon is fascinating. It didn't happen by accident. It was a combination of a bold product design, smart marketing, and an organic adoption by storytellers who saw the truck as a perfect prop to represent a specific set of values. The Ram's legacy is now written not just in owners' manuals and sales figures, but in film scripts, song lyrics, and the shared culture of millions. It's a testament to how a machine can come to represent the very best of the human spirit: grit, determination, and a whole lot of heart. So the next time you see a Ram truck on the road, in a movie, or hear it mentioned in a song, you'll know it's more than just a truck. It's a piece of pop culture, a rolling symbol of resilience that has earned its place in the American story. Thanks so much for watching this deep dive into the cultural impact of the Ram. What are some of your favorite Ram moments in movies or music? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one. Have you ever looked at a truck rolling down the highway and wondered, who's behind that wheel? Where are they going? What's their story? Well, today we're going to answer that. This isn't just about horsepower or towing capacity. This is about the heart and soul of the journey. This is Chapter 12, The People Behind the Wheel. Every Ram truck has a story, a purpose woven into its very steel frame by the person driving it. These aren't just vehicles. They're partners in ambition, tools for a trade, and vessels for adventure. They are extensions of the men and women who turn the key each morning with a mission in mind. Let's start out in the heartland, where the sun rises over endless fields of gold. Meet David. His family has been farming this same land for 4 generations. His first memory of a truck is sitting on his grandfather's lap, hands on the giant steering wheel, pretending to drive. Today, his own Ram is his office, his workhorse, and his lifeline. Before the sun is even a sliver on the horizon, you can hear the familiar rumble of its engine. It's hauling hay to the herd in the back pasture, towing equipment for planting, and carrying the fruits of his labor to market. For David, his truck isn't a luxury. It's a necessity, as vital as the rain and sun. He'll tell you about the time a sudden storm threatened his entire crop, and he and his neighbors worked through the night, their truck beds filled to the brim, headlights cutting through the downpour. Or the quiet satisfaction of leaning against the tailgate after a long day, watching the sunset paint the sky, knowing he's provided for his family and honored the legacy passed down to him. His Ram isn't just metal and machinery. It's a testament to resilience, a symbol of a promise kept to the land and to his family. Now, let's shift gears and travel down a different kind of road, one that stretches across the entire country. Meet Sergeant Miller, a veteran who served 2 tours overseas. Coming home was an adjustment, and the world felt a little too small, a little too quiet. He found his peace on the open road. He bought a Ram, outfitted it with a simple camper shell, and set out to see the country he had defended. His journey isn't about getting from point A to point B, it's about the spaces in between. It's as about pulling over on a whim in the vast deserts of Arizona to watch a meteor shower. Just him and the stars. It's about navigating the winding mountain passes of the Rockies, the truck's engine a steady, reassuring presence. He meets fellow veterans at roadside diners, sharing stories and the mutual understanding that needs few words. For him, the truck is more than transportation. It's a vessel for healing. It's his quiet companion on a pilgrimage of rediscovery. A rolling sanctuary that carries him toward a new chapter, 1 mile at a time. Every state line crossed is a small victory, a reclaiming of the freedom he fought for. Let's head into the bustling suburbs, where the sound of hammers and saws fills the morning air. Here we find Maria, a contractor who built her business from the ground up. When she first started, people underestimated her. She was a woman in a male-dominated field, driving a beat-up old pickup. But her work spoke for itself, precise, reliable, and built to last. As her business grew, so did her needs. She invested in a new RAM, a mobile command center for her growing enterprise. The bed is a meticulously organized workshop of tools and materials. The cab is her office, where she takes calls, reviews blueprints, and manages her crew. Her truck is a symbol of her success, earned through grit and determination. It carries the weight of lumber for a new home, the delicate fixtures for a kitchen remodel, and the trust of her clients. Maria will tell you her truck is the most reliable employee she has. It's there before the first worker arrives, and it's the last to leave the site, covered in the honest dust of a day's hard work. It represents her independence and her refusal to accept any ceiling but the sky. But not every story is about work. Some are about pure, unadulterated play. Let's find Sarah and Tom, a young couple with a thirst for adventure. On weekdays, they're office workers navigating spreadsheets and conference calls. But when Friday afternoon hits, they transform. They hook up their trailer, load their kayaks and mountain bikes into their Ram, and leave the city in their rearview mirror. Their truck is their escape pod. It's carried them to remote trailheads deep in national forests, to serene lakeside campsites, and to the rugged coastline where the road simply ends. They've navigated muddy trails, forded shallow streams, and climbed steep inclines, the truck handling it all with a rugged grace. They talk about the campfire stories, the stargazing far from city lights, and the feeling of being completely off the grid. Their Ram isn't just a vehicle. It's a key that unlocks a world of exploration. It's the promise that no matter how stressful the week gets, the wilderness is always within reach. It's the foundation of memories they'll share for a lifetime. And finally, there are the everyday dreamers. People like you and me. Think of the parent who uses their Ram to haul a Christmas tree home, the bed filled with pine needles and the scent of the holidays. The recent college grad who loads up all their worldly possessions to move to a new city and chase a dream. The DIY enthusiast who makes countless weekend trips to the home improvement store, their truck bed a canvas for their next project. These moments might seem small, but they are the building blocks of a life. The truck is there for the first day of Little League, hauling team gear and coolers. It's there for moving day, helping a friend start a new chapter. It's the reliable companion for that spontaneous trip to the beach, tailgate down, watching the waves roll in. These aren't epic cross-country treks or job sites, but they are the heartfelt, everyday stories that define who we are. The truck becomes part of the family, a silent witness to laughter, growth, and the quiet, beautiful moments that make up a life well lived. From the farmer's field to the veteran's open road, from the contractor's job site to the adventurer's trailhead, the stories are as diverse as the people who live them. But there's a common thread, a spirit of independence, a drive to build, to explore, to provide, and to dream. A Ram truck is more than just a machine of steel and rubber. It's a reflection of the people behind the wheel. It's a partner in their journey, a keeper of their stories, and a symbol of a life in motion. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey today. If these stories resonated with you, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your own truck story. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. We'll see you on the next one. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a pivotal moment in automotive history, a real game changer that redefined the American truck landscape. We're talking about the year 2009, the year Dodge and Ram went their separate ways. It's a story of brand identity, strategic vision, and the birth of a legend. So buckle up because we're about to explore Chapter 13, the year Dodge became Ram. For decades, the name Dodge Ram was synonymous with rugged, dependable trucks. The Ram's head logo was an icon, a symbol of power and durability that truck owners wore with pride. These trucks were the workhorses of America, built to haul, tow, and conquer any challenge thrown their way. From the farm to the construction site, the Dodge Ram was a trusted partner. But as the 21st century rolled on, the automotive world was changing, and the folks at Chrysler Group, the parent company at the time, saw an opportunity for something bold, something revolutionary. The big question was, how do you take an established, beloved product line and elevate it even further? The answer came in 2009 with a corporate restructuring that would send ripples throughout the industry. The decision was made to spin off Ram Trucks into its very own standalone brand, completely separate from Dodge. This wasn't just a name change or a marketing gimmick. It was a fundamental shift in strategy. It was a declaration that trucks weren't just another vehicle in a lineup. They were a lifestyle, a specialized tool, and they deserved a brand entirely dedicated to their unique purpose and their unique customer. This move was audacious, to say the least. Many wondered if splitting such a powerful combined name was a wise decision. Would customers be confused? Would the legacy of the Dodge Ram be diluted? But the leadership team, under the guidance of figures like Sergio Marchionne, had a clear vision. They understood that the Dodge brand was evolving, focusing more on performance cars like the Charger and Challenger and family-oriented vehicles. Trying to be everything to everyone can sometimes mean you don't excel at anything. By separating the two, Dodge could sharpen its focus on sporty, passenger-oriented vehicles, while the new Ram brand could dedicate 100% of its resources, its engineering, its design, its marketing to building the absolute best trucks on the market. This separation immediately uncorked a torrent of innovation and creativity within the newly formed Ram brand. The design teams were unleashed. They no longer had to ensure their truck designs fit within the broader Dodge family aesthetic. This freedom led to the development of a more distinct and aggressive look for Ram trucks. Think about the fourth-generation Ram 1500 that debuted around this time. It featured that iconic forward-leaning crosshair grille that was bigger and bolder than ever before. The body lines became more muscular, more defined. The truck's stance was more confident. It was a visual statement that Ram was here to lead, not just to compete. Inside the cabin, the transformation was even more dramatic. Ram made a strategic decision to completely redefine what a truck interior could be. For too long, truck interiors were seen as purely utilitarian durable, yes, but often basic and uncomfortable. Ram challenged this notion head-on. They started introducing high-quality materials, premium finishes, and thoughtful designs that you typically find in a luxury sedan. The goal was to create a best-in-class interior, a space where you could be comfortable after a long day on the job site or during a cross-country family road trip. This focus on interior refinement became a signature of the Ram brand and a massive selling point that competitors scrambled to match. Features like the Rambox cargo management system were also born from this new, truck-focused innovation pipeline. Marketing, of course, played a huge role in cementing this new identity. The guts, glory, Ram slogan captured the spirit of the brand perfectly. The commercials were powerful, often featuring gritty, authentic portrayals of hard work and American values. They weren't just selling a truck. They were selling an identity. They celebrated the farmers, the construction workers, and the adventurers who relied on their vehicles every single day. The marketing didn't whisper. It roared. It created an emotional connection, establishing Ram not just as a tool, but as a badge of honor for those who build, create, and explore. Paul Harvey, So God Made a Farmer Super Bowl commercial is a masterclass in this style of brand storytelling. And it wouldn't have had the same impact without Ram's singular focus. This strategic split also had a profound effect on the competitive landscape. With Ram now a dedicated truck brand, it put immense pressure on Ford and General Motors. The truck wars intensified. Ram's relentless focus on interior quality, ride comfort, thanks to innovations like the class-exclusive coil spring rear suspension and user-friendly technology forced the entire segment to up its game. Suddenly, a comfortable ride and a luxurious interior were no longer just nice-to-haves in a pickup. They were expectations. Ram had successfully shifted the paradigm, proving that you could have a tough, capable workhorse that was also a comfortable and technologically advanced daily driver. Looking back, the 2009 separation was a masterstroke. It allowed the Ram brand to cultivate its own distinct personality, free from the shadow of the larger Dodge lineup. It fostered a culture of focused innovation that led to numerous awards, including multiple Motor Trend Truck of the Year honors. The decision created two stronger, more focused brands. Dodge could double down on its muscle car heritage, and Ram could pour all its energy into conquering the fiercely competitive truck market. It was a bold move that paid off spectacularly, transforming Ram from a model name into a powerhouse brand that continues to define excellence in the world of trucks today. It is a testament to the power of clear vision and the courage to carve a new path. What do you guys think? Do you remember when this change happened? Were you a fan of the classic Dodge Ram, or do you prefer the modern, standalone Ram brand? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. It's always great to hear your perspectives. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into a crucial chapter of truck history. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, please give it a thumbs up, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. We've got a lot more great automotive stories to share. Until next time, drive safe and thanks for watching. Welcome back to our journey through the history of Ram trucks. Today, in Chapter 14, we're diving into a game-changer, the eco-diesel and the efficiency revolution it sparked. For decades, the truck world operated on a simple principle: more power meant less efficiency. If you wanted to tow heavy loads, you had to accept frequent, expensive trips to the gas station. It was just the cost of doing business, the price of capability, but Ram was about to challenge that long-held belief. They asked a question that would reshape the industry. What if you didn't have to choose? What if power and efficiency could ride together in the same truck? The stage was set in the early 2010s. Fuel prices were a constant worry for truck owners, and environmental regulations were getting stricter. The market was hungry for a solution, but nobody had quite cracked the code for a full-size pickup. Other manufacturers were exploring smaller engines or complex hybrid systems, but these often came with compromises in towing or payload. Ram saw an opportunity to lead, not just by meeting the new demands, but by exceeding them. They decided to look across the Atlantic to their partners at Fiat and its engine subsidiary, VM Motori. This Italian company had a stellar reputation for building powerful, reliable, and incredibly efficient diesel engines for the European market. The idea was simple but revolutionary: adapt one of these world-class diesels for the legendary Ram 1500. This wasn't just about dropping a new engine into an old frame. It was a massive engineering undertaking. The chosen engine was a 3.0-liter V6 turbo diesel. It had to be completely re-engineered to meet North American emission standards, which are among the strictest in the world. It also had to be tuned to deliver the kind of low-end torque that American truck owners expect. This meant new software, a robust exhaust treatment system, and countless hours of testing in every condition imaginable, from the scorching heat of the desert to the freezing cold of the mountains. Ram's engineers weren't just building an engine. They were building confidence. They knew this new powertrain had to be as tough and reliable as the Hemi V8 sitting next to it on the dealership lot. Then, in 2014, the Ram 1500 eco-diesel officially arrived. The response was immediate and overwhelming. The numbers alone were astounding. The truck delivered up to 28 miles per gallon on the highway, a figure that was unheard of for a full-size half-ton pickup. This wasn't just a small improvement. It was a quantum leap. For the first time, a truck owner could commute all week on a single tank of fuel and still have the power to tow a boat to the lake on the weekend. The engine produced a formidable 420 pound-feet of torque, rivaling many V8s, while sipping fuel like a compact car. It completely changed the conversation around what a pickup truck could be. The eco-diesel wasn't just an engineering marvel. It was a statement. It proved that being environmentally responsible didn't mean sacrificing capability. Ram had successfully balanced two seemingly opposite forces. This new engine offered a path forward, showing that innovation could solve the industry's biggest challenges. Awards started pouring in. The Ram 1500 was named Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for 2 consecutive years, 2013 and 2014, a historic first. The eco-diesel engine itself won a spot on Ward's 10 Best Engines list for 3 years in a row. It wasn't just a niche option. It was a mainstream success that forced the entire industry to take notice. Suddenly, competitors were scrambling to develop their own efficient diesel options for their half-ton trucks. Ram hadn't just joined the conversation, they were leading it. The secret to the eco-diesel's success was its refined performance. Unlike the loud, rough diesels of the past, this engine was smooth and remarkably quiet. Inside the cabin of a Ram 1500, you could barely tell you were driving a diesel. It delivered its power effortlessly, with that signature low-end torque pushing you back in your seat from a standstill. This refinement, combined with Ram's already class-leading ride quality and luxurious interiors, created a package that was simply unmatched. It was a truck that was as comfortable on a long family road trip as it was capable on a demanding job site. It was the complete package, the perfect blend of brains and brawn. Of course, the journey wasn't without its challenges. The increased scrutiny on diesel emissions worldwide meant Ram had to continuously innovate and update its systems to remain compliant and transparent. They invested heavily in refining the technology, ensuring that the eco-diesel was not only powerful and efficient, but also one of the cleanest diesels on the road. This commitment to continuous improvement led to the second-generation eco-diesel, introduced in 2020. This new version was even more impressive, boosting torque to a best-in-class 480 pound-feet and further improving fuel economy and refinement. It was a testament to Ram's dedication to pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The legacy of the eco-diesel is profound. It fundamentally altered the DNA of the modern pickup truck. It demonstrated that drivers could have incredible towing and hauling power without the penalty of poor fuel economy. It forced the industry to innovate, leading to a new era of efficiency across the board. The eco-diesel Yoast success proved that truck buyers were ready and willing to embrace new technology when it delivered real-world benefits. It paved the way for other advanced powertrains, including the mild hybrid e-torque system and, looking ahead, the fully electric Ram REV. The eco-diesel was more than just an engine. It was a pivotal chapter in the Ram story, a symbol of smart engineering and a bold vision for the future of trucks. Thank you so much for joining us for this look at the eco-diesel revolution. It's a story of innovation, courage, and a commitment to giving drivers everything they want in a truck, with no compromises. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next chapter. We have many more miles to cover in the incredible history of Ram. See you next time. Welcome back to our series, where we're tracing the legendary history of America's favorite trucks. Today, we're stepping into the modern era with Chapter 15, Luxury on Wheels. The story of the contemporary Ram 1500. If you thought trucks were just for hauling and hard labor, get ready to have your mind blown. The Ram 1500 of today is a testament to how a workhorse can evolve into a masterpiece of comfort and technology. Let's set the stage. For decades, the pickup truck was the undisputed symbol of blue-collar grit. It was about payload, towing capacity, and rugged dependability. The interior was functional, not fancy. A durable bench seat, a simple radio, and a tough-as-nails dashboard were all you needed. Comfort was a luxury reserved for sedans. But then, something started to shift. Ram saw an opportunity, a gap in the market. They asked a revolutionary question: why can't a truck be both tough and luxurious? This question sparked a revolution that redefined the entire segment. The journey wasn't overnight. It began with subtle upgrades, better materials here, a new feature there. But with the launch of the fourth-generation Ram 1500 in 2009, and especially its major refresh in 2013, the game truly changed. This was the generation that introduced the revolutionary multi-link coil spring rear suspension. While competitors stuck with traditional leaf springs, Ram took a leap of faith. The result? A ride quality that was unbelievably smooth, more like a premium SUV than a pickup. Suddenly, your daily driver could also be your weekend workhorse, without the bone-jarring ride. This was just the beginning. Ram wasn't content with just a smoother ride. They turned their attention inward, to the cabin. They started to think like a luxury car brand. The design teams began to obsess over the details, the touch points, the textures, the overall experience. They knew that truck owners were spending more and more time in their vehicles, using them for everything from job sites to family road trips. The cab wasn't just a driver's seat anymore. It was an office, a dining room, and a mobile command center. With the arrival of the fifth generation in 2019, Ram didn't just move the goalposts. They put them in a completely different stadium. This is where luxury on wheels became a reality. Step inside a high-trim model like a Laramie Longhorn or a Limited, and you're not just in a truck cabin. You're in a sanctuary. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the massive 12-inch Uconnect touchscreen, a vertical display that became the centerpiece of the dashboard. It was bold, intuitive, and looked like something straight out of a Tesla. This wasn't just a screen for your radio. It was the nerve center for navigation, climate control, vehicle settings, and seamless smartphone integration. It was a statement piece that shouted, "The future of trucks is here," but it's the materials that truly set the modern Ram 1500 apart. We're talking about real, open-pore wood trim, not plastic fakes. Intricate filigree stitching on premium leather seats that you'd expect to find in a European luxury sedan. Metal accents that are cool to the touch. The level of craftsmanship is extraordinary. The Laramie Longhorn trim, for instance, leans into a Western aesthetic with its unique branding details and rich, warm tones, creating an environment that feels both rugged and incredibly refined. It's like a high-end saddle maker's workshop merged with a first-class airline cabin. Ram also declared war on noise. They used acoustic glass active noise cancellation technology and countless sound-deadening materials to create one of the quietest cabins in any vehicle, period. You can cruise down the highway at 70 miles per hour and have a conversation with your passengers without raising your voice. This focus on a serene ride experience was another way Ram distinguished itself. It wasn't just about being comfortable. It was about creating a premium, stress-free environment. And let's talk about space. The crew cab models offer an astonishing amount of rear seat legroom, more than many full-size luxury sedans. The rear seats themselves aren't just benches. They're sculpted, comfortable, and can even recline in some models. Add in features like heated and ventilated seats for both front and rear passengers, a panoramic sunroof that bathes the cabin in natural light, and a high-end Harman Kardon sound system, and you have a vehicle that's as good for a night out on the town as it is for a day on the farm. But here, just the brilliant part. Ram achieved all this luxury without sacrificing an ounce of its core identity. The modern Ram 1500 is still fundamentally a beast of a truck. It can still tow over 12,000 pounds. Its optional Ram Box cargo management system offers lockable, drainable storage built right into the sides of the bed, a genius piece of utility. The multifunction tailgate can swing open like barn doors or drop down traditionally. The available air suspension not only enhances the ride but also allows you to lower the truck for easier loading and entry. This is the key to Ram's success. They understood that the modern truck owner isn't just one thing. They're a contractor on Monday, a parent on Wednesday, and an adventurer on Saturday. They need a vehicle that can do it all and do it all with style and comfort. Ram didn't abandon its working-class roots. It elevated them. They proved that strength and sophistication are not mutually exclusive. You can have a truck that hauls lumber during the day and takes your family to a fancy dinner at night, and it will feel perfectly at home in both scenarios. The modern Ram 1500 isn't just a truck. It's a lifestyle vehicle. It represents a paradigm shift in the automotive world, proving that utility can be luxurious and that ruggedness can be refined. It has forced every other manufacturer to step up their game, leading to a golden age of pickup trucks where the consumer is the ultimate winner. Ram didn't just build a better truck. They reimagined what an American truck could be. They put luxury on wheels and drove it straight into the heart of the mainstream. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the modern marvel that is the Ram 1500. This truck has truly changed the game, and its influence is undeniable. What do you think is the most impressive feature of the new Ram trucks? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this chapter, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next part of our series. We'll see you in the next video. Howdy folks, and welcome back to our deep dive into the world of Ram trucks. Today, we're shifting gears into the future as we tackle Chapter 16, Technology and Innovation. If you thought Ram was all about raw, old-school muscle, think again. This brand has its eyes firmly set on the horizon, masterfully blending rugged tradition with cutting-edge tech. Let's fire up the engine and explore how Ram is not just keeping up but leading the charge in the automotive world. First up, let's talk about something that completely transformed the truck driving experience. The active level 4-corner air suspension. This wasn't just a gimmick, it was a game changer. Imagine your truck automatically lowering itself to make it easier to get in, load up cargo, or hitch a trailer. Then, when you hit the highway, it hunkers down to improve aerodynamics and fuel efficiency, and for those off-road adventures? Just push a button and raise the truck for incredible ground clearance. It's an intelligent system that provides a smoother, more controlled ride, whether you're hauling a heavy load or just cruising down the street. It perfectly embodies the Ram philosophy: work smarter, not just harder. This system proves that a tough truck can also be incredibly sophisticated and comfortable. Now, let's step inside the cab, which has become the command center of the modern Ram. The centerpiece of this evolution is, without a doubt, the Uconnect system, especially with the available 12-inch vertical touchscreen. When this first came out, it blew everyone away. It wasn't just a bigger screen, it was a smarter one. With its split-screen capability, you can have your navigation on the top half and your audio controls on the bottom. It's intuitive, responsive, and brings a level of connectivity to your truck that was once reserved for luxury sedans. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, integrated navigation. It's all there, seamlessly integrated. This isn't just about entertainment. It's about having total control of your vehicle's environment and your digital life, all from one central, beautiful display. It is a testament to Ram's commitment to creating a driver-focused experience that is as advanced as it is user-friendly. But technology in a Ram isn't just for comfort and convenience. It's also about keeping you and your precious cargo safe. Ram has poured immense resources into developing a suite of advanced safety and driver assist features. We're talking about technologies that act like a second set of eyes on the road. Adaptive cruise control with stop and go can automatically adjust your speed to maintain a set distance from the vehicle ahead, even bringing you to a complete stop in heavy traffic. Lane Sense lane departure warning with lane keep assist helps prevent unintentional lane drifts. And forward collision warning with active braking can alert you to a potential frontal impact and even apply the brakes if you don't react in time. There's also the 360-degree surround view camera, which is an absolute lifesaver when parking a big truck or navigating tight spaces. These aren't just features. They are layers of confidence, helping you handle any situation with greater peace of mind. And the innovation doesn't stop with what's already on the road. Ram is constantly looking ahead, exploring the next frontier of automotive technology. We've seen this with the introduction of the e-torque mild hybrid system. This clever technology replaces the traditional alternator with a belt-driven motor generator unit. It enhances performance, efficiency, and payload, all while providing a smoother driving experience, especially during stop-and-go situations. It improves fuel economy without sacrificing the power and capability that Ram owners expect. This is a brilliant stepping stone, a way of electrifying the powertrain to add value today while paving the way for the future. Speaking of the future, we have to talk about the Ram 1500 REV. This isn't just an electric truck. It's a Ram reimagined for the electric age. It's built on the new Stila frame platform, a body-on-frame design specifically engineered for full-size electric vehicles. This means it maintains the core strength and durability Ram is known for, while incorporating a massive battery pack for unprecedented range. They're targeting up to a 500-mile range with the optional large battery pack. Think about that. A full-size truck with that kind of capability. And the performance? We're talking 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds. Plus, it's packed with futuristic tech like a massive front trunk for extra storage, and vehicle-to-load power capabilities that can literally power your house or your tools at a job site. The REV is a bold statement that Ram is not just participating in the electric revolution. They intend to lead it, bringing their legendary utility and toughness into a new, electrifying era. This forward-thinking approach is what keeps Ram at the top of its game. They understand that the needs of truck owners are evolving. It's no longer just about horsepower and towing capacity. It's about efficiency, connectivity, safety, and comfort. It's about having a vehicle that can serve as a rugged workhorse on Monday, a comfortable family vehicle on Saturday, and a sophisticated tech-filled cruiser every day of the week. By integrating features like the digital rearview mirror, head-up display, and advanced trailering tech, Ram is continuously erasing the line between a utility vehicle and a luxury vehicle. They're proving that you can have it all, a truck that's tough, smart, and incredibly refined. From the revolutionary air suspension that redefined ride quality to the Uconnect system that set a new standard for in-cab infotainment. And now to the bold leap into electrification with the Ram 1500 REV, the story of Ram is a story of relentless innovation. They respect their heritage, but they are not bound by it. They are constantly pushing the envelope, asking, what's next? And then building it. This blend of tradition and technology ensures that Ram trucks will not only meet the challenges of today, but will also be ready for the road ahead, no matter where it leads. That's a wrap on our look into Ram's incredible technology and innovation. It's truly amazing to see how far these trucks have come. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next chapter. We'll see you in the next one. Welcome back to our series, where we've journeyed through the incredible history of Ram trucks. We've seen them evolve from rugged workhorses to icons of power and luxury. But today, we're not looking back. We're looking forward to the next chapter, Chapter 17, The Electric Future, starring the all-new, all-electric Ram 1500 REV. This isn't just a new truck. It's a paradigm shift, a redefinition of what tough really means in the 21st century. For years, the truck world has been buzzing with anticipation. While competitors made their electric moves, Ram took its time, watching, learning, and planning. They weren't interested in being first, they were interested in being the best. The debut of the Ram 1500 REV wasn't just a product launch. It was a statement. It signaled that the brand known for the mighty Hemi V8 was ready to embrace a new kind of power-silent, instantaneous, and sustainable. Let's talk about the first question on everyone's mind: range. Ram knows that truck owners need to go the distance, whether it's to a remote job site or a weekend campsite. They address this head-on by offering two battery pack options. The standard 168 kilowatt-hour battery targets a very respectable 350 miles of range. But for those who demand more, there's the optional 229 kilowatt-hour large pack, aiming for an unprecedented, class-shattering 500 miles on a single charge. That's not just competitive, it's a game-changer. It silences the range anxiety critics and proves that electric trucks can handle the long haul. And how about charging? The REV is built on an advanced 800-volt architecture. This isn't just tech jargon. It means incredibly fast charging speeds. With a DC fast charger, you can add up to 110 miles of range in just about 10 minutes. Imagine pulling into a charging station, grabbing a coffee, and by the time you're back, you've got enough juice for the rest of your journey. This speed is crucial for making electric trucks practical for real-world use, minimizing downtime and keeping you on the move. Now let's get into the design. At first glance, it's unmistakably a Ram. It has that bold, muscular presence we all recognize. But look closer, and you'll see the future woven into its DNA. The traditional grille has been reimagined. It's smoother, more aerodynamic, and features an illuminated Ram badge that pulses to indicate charging status. It's a brilliant fusion of form and function. The signature tuning fork LED headlights give the REV a futuristic and assertive face, making it clear this is something new and special. The body has been sculpted to slice through the air more efficiently, which is critical for maximizing electric range. Every curve and line has a purpose. One of the most exciting features made possible by the electric platform is the frunk, or front trunk. Where a massive V8 engine used to be, there's now a cavernous, weather-sealed storage space offering 15 cubic feet of lockable room. Think about that, it's like adding a huge trunk to your truck bed. It's perfect for storing tools, charging cables, or luggage, keeping them secure and out of the elements. It even has a 12-volt outlet inside. This is innovation that directly translates to real-world convenience. Step inside the REV, and you enter a world of next-level technology and luxury. Ram has always set the bar high for interiors, and the REV raises it even further. The cabin is dominated by the available 14.5-inch Uconnect 5 touchscreen, your command center for navigation, entertainment, and vehicle settings. But the tech doesn't stop there. For the first time ever in a Ram, there's a 10.25-inch passenger screen. This allows the front passenger to co-pilot, managing navigation or enjoying their own entertainment without distracting the driver. It's a feature borrowed from high-end luxury EVs, now in a Ram truck. The materials are, as you'd expect, top-notch. We're talking authentic carbon fiber, metal accents, and plush leather. The tungsten model, the new pinnacle of Ram luxury, takes it to another level with a premium 23-speaker, Klipsch reference premier audio system, quilted leather seats with massage functions, and a level of detail that rivals European luxury sedans. It's a workspace, a family hauler, and a concert hall on wheels, all in one. But a Ram is nothing without capability. The REV is built on the all-new STL A-frame platform, a body-on-frame design specifically engineered for full-size electric vehicles. This isn't a modified gas truck. It's a purpose-built EV from the ground up. This rigid frame houses the battery pack low and centered, creating an incredibly low center of gravity. That translates to a surprisingly nimble and stable ride, unlike any truck you've driven before. It also features a 4-corner air suspension with adaptive damping, allowing you to adjust the ride height for easy entry, optimal aerodynamics on the highway, or maximum ground clearance for off-roading. Let's talk numbers because they are staggering. The dual-motor, all-wheel drive system delivers a projected 654 horsepower and 620 pound-feet of torque. That's more torque than a TRX. The result? A 0 to 60 time of just 4.4 seconds. A full-size luxury crew cab truck that can out-accelerate many sports cars. This is the beauty of electric power, instantaneous torque for thrilling performance. But it's not just about speed. That power translates to immense capability. The Ram REV is targeting a maximum towing capacity of 14,000 pounds and a payload of 2,700 pounds. These aren't compromised numbers. These are a direct challenge to the gas-powered champions. Ram is also pushing the boundaries of autonomous driving with the REV. It will offer hands-free active driving assist, which can control the vehicle's speed and steering on approved highways, allowing for a more relaxed and less fatiguing driving experience on long trips. It's another layer of technology that makes the REV not just powerful, but incredibly smart. The REV also acts as a mobile power source. With its onboard power panel, it can provide up to 7.2 kilowatts of power in the bed and 3.6 kilowatts in the front. You can run power tools at a job site, light up an entire campsite, or even power your home during an outage. This vehicle-to-load, or V2L, capability transforms the truck from just a mode of transport into a versatile utility tool. It can even charge another electric vehicle, making you the hero of the parking lot if a fellow EV driver is in a pinch. The Ram 1500 REV represents a monumental shift for the brand. It's a testament to the idea that embracing the future doesn't mean abandoning the past. It still embodies the core Ram values of strength, durability, and no-compromise capability. But it reinterprets them for a new era. The toughness of the REV isn't just about pulling heavy loads. It's about the toughness of its engineering, the intelligence of its technology, and its commitment to a more sustainable form of performance. It has a new kind of tough for a new generation of truck owners who demand both power and principle. As we conclude this chapter, we see that the Ram story is far from over. In fact, a whole new volume is just beginning. The Ram 1500 REV is not just an electric truck. It's a bold declaration that the future of trucking has arrived, and it wears a Ram badge. Thank you so much for joining us on this look into the electrifying future of Ram. It's been an incredible journey, and the road ahead looks even more exciting. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. We'll see you in the next one. Howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a journey, not just down an American highway, but across oceans and continents. We're diving into Chapter 18 of our series, Global Reach, the American Truck Abroad. Now, when you think of a Ram truck, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's the image of American strength, wide open spaces, and a can-do attitude. It's as American as apple pie, right? But what if I told you that this icon of the heartland is now turning heads and hauling loads in places as diverse as the Canadian Rockies, the Australian Outback, and even the deserts of the Middle East? It's true. The Ram's reputation for rugged capability and bold styling has broken through borders. So how did this quintessential American workhorse become a global phenomenon? How did a truck born from the needs of American farmers and builders become an export of the American spirit itself? Well, buckle up, because that's exactly what we're going to explore. We'll look at the markets where the Ram is thriving, the modifications made for different countries, and the cultural impact it's having around the world. It's a story of power, perception, and a little bit of that unapologetic American charm. The journey of the Ram truck beyond U.S. borders wasn't an accident. It was a testament to its fundamental design and engineering. Let's start with our neighbor to the north, Canada. The Canadian market is, in many ways, a natural extension of the American one. With vast landscapes, harsh winters, and a strong resource-based economy in sectors like logging, mining, and oil, the demand for a powerful, reliable truck is immense. Ram trucks, particularly the heavy-duty 2500 and 3500 models with their Cummins diesel engines, found a perfect home here. They offered the brute force needed to tow heavy equipment through snowy mountain passes, and the durability to handle rough, unpaved service roads. For many Canadians, the Ram isn't just a vehicle. It's an essential tool for their livelihood, mirroring its role in the US but adapted to a uniquely Canadian context. The brand recognized this synergy early on, establishing a strong dealership network and marketing that spoke directly to the Canadian ethos of toughness and resilience. It wasn't about selling an American truck. It was about selling the *right* truck for the job, and the Ram fit the bill perfectly. Now, let's fly halfway around the world to a place you might not immediately associate with big American pickups, the Middle East. In nations like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, the Ram has carved out a fascinating niche. Here, it's less about the worksite and more about status, power, and recreation. The region has a deep-seated love for powerful vehicles, and the Ram, especially high-performance models like the TRX, tapped directly into this passion. The growl of a Hemi V8 echoes through the streets of Dubai, a symbol of automotive enthusiasm. But it's not just about city cruising. The vast deserts of the Arabian Peninsula offer the ultimate playground for off-roading, and the Ram's robust suspension, four-wheel drive systems, and sheer power make it a king of the dunes. It competes with legendary off-roaders in a market that takes desert capability very seriously. Owning a Ram here is a statement. It says you appreciate raw power, bold design, and a vehicle that can conquer any terrain, from the asphalt jungle to the endless sea of sand. It's the American spirit of adventure, reinterpreted in a land of ancient traditions and modern marvels. Heading even further south, we land in Australia, a continent with a truck culture all its own. For decades, the Aussie market was dominated by the Ute, a car-based utility vehicle. But as towing needs grew for caravans, boats, and horse floats, Australians began looking for something with more muscle. This is where Ram saw a massive opportunity. However, there was a big hurdle. Australia is a right-hand drive country. Instead of seeing this as a barrier, Ram Trucks Australia established a world-class facility in Melbourne to remanufacture left-hand drive trucks imported from the US into factory-quality right-hand drive vehicles. This wasn't a simple conversion. It was a complete re-engineering process, ensuring safety and quality met Australian standards. The result? The Ram 1500, 2500, and 3500 became the go-to choice for Aussies who needed serious towing capacity that the traditional utes just couldn't provide. It found a loyal following among grey nomads traveling the country, farmers on vast stations, and tradespeople with heavy-duty needs. The Ram didn't just enter the Australian market. It redefined the top end of it, proving that the American full-size truck had a place in the land down under. So, what is the common thread that ties these diverse markets together? It's the core identity of the Ram truck. Whether you're a contractor in Alberta, a desert enthusiast in Dubai, or a rancher in the Queensland bush, the Ram delivers on a universal promise of capability and presence. It's a vehicle that doesn't blend in, it stands out. This global success speaks volumes about the universality of certain values, strength, freedom, and the ability to tackle any challenge head-on. The truck's design, while unmistakably American, has a rugged appeal that transcends cultural boundaries. The prominent grille, the muscular lines, and the powerful stance communicate a message of confidence that resonates with people everywhere. Furthermore, Ram was smart. They didn't just ship trucks and hope for the best. They studied each market, understood the specific needs and desires of the customers, and adapted, whether through engineering conversions in Australia or by marketing the thrill of performance in the Middle East. They sold more than just a truck. They sold a solution and an experience. They exported a piece of the American dream, one that's about power, possibility, and the freedom of the open road, no matter which side of the road you drive on. But the global journey isn't without its challenges. In many parts of Europe, for example, high fuel prices, stricter emissions regulations, and narrow city streets make a full-size American truck a tough sell. While you'll find a passionate community of Ram owners in countries like Germany and Switzerland, it remains a niche vehicle, an exotic import for true enthusiasts. This highlights the delicate balance Ram and other American automakers face when going global. They must weigh the appeal of their core American identity against the practical realities of different markets. Do you downsize and compromise the truck's character to fit in, or do you stay true to your roots and target the specific customers who want exactly what you offer? For now, Ram has largely chosen the latter path. It has focused on markets where its size and power are assets, not liabilities. This strategy has allowed the brand to build a strong, profitable international presence without diluting what makes a Ram a Ram. The truck's global story is still being written, and with the shift towards electrification, the next chapter is sure to be fascinating. Will an electric Ram have the same global appeal? That's a question for another day. In the end, the story of the Ram truck abroad is a powerful lesson in brand identity and global marketing. It shows that a product deeply rooted in one nation's culture can find a welcoming home across the world if it speaks to universal human desires for strength, for freedom, for capability. The Ram truck is more than just steel, rubber, and a Hemi engine. It has become a rolling ambassador for a certain kind of American spirit, bold, unapologetic, and ready for anything. From the oil fields of Canada to the dunes of Dubai and the vast plains of Australia, the iconic Ram grille is now a familiar sight, a symbol of power that needs no translation. It's a reminder that while our worlds may be different, the desire to conquer the road ahead is something we all share. It's been an incredible journey exploring how this American legend went global. Thank you so much for joining me on this ride. It's your passion and curiosity that make these deep dives possible. If you enjoyed this chapter and want to see more, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure. What do you think about the Ram's global presence? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially if you're watching from outside the US. Until next time, keep the shiny side up. In a world of constant change, with new tech and trends popping up every single day, why does the Ram truck endure? What is it about this machine that captures the American spirit so perfectly? Let's get into it. We're in an era where vehicles are becoming more like roll-in computers. Touchscreens are getting bigger, engines are getting smaller, and everything is about connectivity. And yet amidst all this progress, the Ram truck doesn't just survive, it thrives. It's more than just a vehicle, it's become a symbol. When you see that iconic grille coming down the road, it stands for something. It stands for reliability. It's the promise that when you turn the key, it will start. When you need to haul a heavy load, it won't complain. It's the dependable partner you can count on day in and day out, no matter what the job or the weather throws at you. This isn't just about engineering, it's about trust. A trust that's been built over decades, one tough job at a time. It's the confidence that this truck was built to work as hard as you do. But it goes deeper than just being a reliable tool. The Ram also represents a kind of courage. Think about it. It's the vehicle of choice for people who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty, to venture off the beaten path, and to tackle challenges head-on. It's a statement that you're not just a passive commuter. You're an active participant in the world around you. Driving a Ram is an embrace of capability. It's the courage to say yes when a friend needs help moving, or when a tough project looms. It's the courage to forge your own path, both literally and figuratively. This truck isn't designed for the timid. It's built for the bold, for the pioneers, for the ones who see a mountain and think, I can get over that. That spirit of adventure and can-do attitude is baked into its very DNA, and that brings us to individuality. In a sea of cookie-cutter cars, a Ram stands out. It has a presence, a character that's undeniably its own. Choosing a Ram is often a deliberate choice to step away from the mainstream. It's a declaration of self-reliance and independence. You're not just buying transportation. You're aligning yourself with a legacy of strength and authenticity. Whether it's a rugged tradesman, a luxurious limited, or a beastly TRX, each truck allows its owner to express a unique facet of their personality. It's a canvas for customization, a reflection of a life lived with purpose. It says you value substance over flash, and you're not afraid to be different. This isn't about fitting in, it's about standing tall. So what's the secret sauce? What keeps the Ram alive and kicking in the hearts of so many? I believe it boils down to three core principles: honesty, simplicity, and enduring toughness. Let's talk about honesty first. There's an honest-to-goodness quality about a Ram. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's a truck, and it's proud of it. The design is bold and straightforward. The function is clear. It's built to haul, to tow, and to endure. This honesty resonates with people who value authenticity in their own lives. They appreciate a product that delivers on its promises without unnecessary frills or gimmicks. It's a what you see is what you get philosophy, and in a world full of clever marketing and empty promises, that kind of straightforwardness is incredibly refreshing and builds a powerful bond of loyalty. Next, let's consider simplicity. Now, don't get me wrong, modern Ram trucks are packed with incredible technology. But at their core, they retain a fundamental simplicity of purpose. The controls are intuitive, the layout is practical. You don't need to read a 500-page manual to figure out how to put it in four-wheel drive or tow a trailer. This focus on user-friendly design is a form of respect for the driver. It acknowledges that the owner has a job to do and the truck is a tool to help them do it, not a puzzle to be solved. This elegant simplicity is what makes it so approachable and easy to live with every day, whether you're a contractor on a job site or a family on a weekend camping trip. It's complex where it needs to be, but simple where it matters most. And finally, we have to talk about that enduring toughness. This is the cornerstone of the Ram legacy. These trucks are built to last. They re-subjected to brutal testing in the most extreme conditions imaginable to ensure they can withstand the rigors of real-world use. From the frame to the powertrain to the interior materials, every component is chosen with durability in mind. This toughness isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving under pressure. It's the reason you see old Ram trucks still working hard on farms and construction sites years after they rolled off the assembly line. That resilience is inspiring. It's a testament to quality engineering and a commitment to building something that lasts. In our disposable culture, owning something so tough and long-lasting feels like an act of defiance. It's an investment in something real, something tangible, something that won't let you down. So when you put it all together, the unwavering reliability, the courage it inspires, the individuality it represents, and the core values of honesty, simplicity, and toughness, you start to understand why the Ram isn't just a truck. It's a cultural icon. It's a reflection of a set of values that many of us hold dear. It's a reminder that even as the world changes, some things like strength, dependability, and an independent spirit are truly timeless. The Ram endures because it's more than steel and rubber. It's a piece of the American heartland, rolling proudly down the highway. It connects with us on a fundamental level, reminding us of who we are and what we're capable of. That's what I think anyway. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Why do you think the Ram has such a lasting appeal? Drop your opinions in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks so much for watching and spending this time with me. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us grow. Until next time, stay safe and keep on trucking. Have you ever wondered what makes something truly last? In a world that's constantly changing, where today's hot new thing is tomorrow's forgotten relic, how does an icon hold its ground? Today, we're diving deep into the heart of an American legend. We're not just talking about steel, horsepower, or towing capacity. We're talking about the spirit of the Ram truck and why, after all these years, it continues to capture the American heart. From the dusty backroads of the heartland to the bustling construction sites of our growing cities, the Ram truck is more than just a vehicle. It's a fixture, a landmark. But why? What is it about this particular machine that resonates so deeply? The answer, I believe, lies in three core principles that have defined it from the very beginning: honesty, simplicity, and an enduring, bone-deep toughness. Let's start with honesty. In a world full of flashy marketing and over-the-top promises, the Ram has always felt real. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's a truck, built to do truck things. There's an integrity to its design, a straightforwardness in its purpose. When you get behind the wheel of a Ram, there's an unspoken agreement. You know it's built to work hard, to haul your gear, to get you where you need to go, no matter the conditions. It doesn't need to shout about its capabilities because its reputation speaks for itself. This honesty builds a foundation of trust. Owners don't just drive their trucks. They rely on them, they depend on them, and that relationship is one of the key reasons the Ram community is so fiercely loyal. Next up is simplicity. Now, don't get me wrong. Modern Ram trucks are packed with incredible technology, luxurious interiors, and sophisticated engineering. But at its core, the philosophy remains simple. Form follows function. The design, even at its most refined, never loses sight of its primary purpose. The controls are intuitive, the layout is practical, and every feature feels like it's there for a reason, not just for show. This isn't the simplicity of being basic. It's the simplicity of being smart. It's about removing the unnecessary noise to focus on what truly matters. In our increasingly complex lives, there's a powerful appeal in something that just works. It's a tool, a partner, that simplifies your tasks instead of complicating them. That elegant simplicity is a form of genius, and it's something drivers have appreciated for generations. And that brings us to the most defining characteristic of all: enduring toughness. This is the bedrock of the Ram legend. A Ram truck is built to last. It's engineered to withstand punishment, to take on the toughest jobs and ask for more. This isn't just about a strong frame or a powerful engine. It's a mindset, an attitude woven into the very fabric of the brand. Think about the stories you hear from Ram owners. Tales of hauling impossible loads, navigating treacherous terrain, or starting up without fail after a bitter winter night. These aren't just anecdotes. They are testaments to the truck's rugged soul. This toughness creates a sense of security and confidence. You know that your truck can handle whatever life throws at it, and by extension, it empowers you to do the same. It's a symbol of resilience, a reflection of the owner's own grit and determination. But the endurance of the Ram goes beyond its physical attributes. It has become a powerful symbol of something more profound: courage and individuality. To choose a Ram is often a conscious decision to stand apart. It represents a spirit of independence, a refusal to just follow the crowd. It's a declaration that you value substance over style, and that you're not afraid of hard work. In this way, the truck becomes an extension of the owner's personality. It's a partner in their adventures, a tool for their ambition, and a symbol of their self-reliance. Think about the American identity. We value pioneers, builders, and adventurers. We celebrate those who are courageous, who carve their own path. The Ram truck embodies this spirit. It's the vehicle you imagine seeing on a farm at dawn, at a remote campsite under the stars, or leading a convoy to a disaster relief site. It's tied to the very idea of building, creating, and exploring. It's a symbol of the courage it takes to face challenges head-on, whether that challenge is a mountain pass or starting a new business from the ground up. As markets shift and technology evolves at a dizzying pace, you might expect a classic icon like this to fade. We've seen electric vehicles change the game, and consumer tastes are always in flux. Yet the Ram endures. Why? Because the core values it represents, reliability, courage, honesty, are timeless. They are human values. Technology can change the drivetrain, but it can't change the fundamental need for a tool you can trust. New designs might come and go, but the appeal of quiet confidence and rugged capability will always have a place. The Ram has managed to evolve without losing its soul. It has integrated new technologies and modern comforts while holding fast to the toughness and integrity that made it famous. It's proof that you can innovate and adapt without abandoning your roots. This careful balance is perhaps the most impressive feat of all, allowing it to remain relevant to new generations of drivers while still honoring the legacy that longtime owners hold dear. So, when we look at a Ram truck, we're not just seeing a collection of parts. We're seeing a story of American ingenuity, of hard work, and of an unshakable spirit. We're seeing a symbol that has been passed down through families, a silent partner in countless memories, and a testament to the idea that some things are built to last for a reason. Its honesty connects with our need for trust. Its simplicity appeals to our desire for clarity. And its toughness mirrors the resilience we hope to find in ourselves. That is why the Ram endures. It's not just in the steel or the engine. It's alive in the hearts of those who see it as more than just a truck, but as a symbol of who they are and what they stand for. It's a timeless piece of Americana, roaring down the road as honest, simple, and tough as the day it was born. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of a true icon. If you enjoyed this and want to see more content like it, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out, and we'd love to have you as part of our community. Until next time, stay tough and drive safe. As the sun dips low, painting the horizon in shades of fire and gold, there's a sound that is as much a part of this landscape as the ancient hills and the endless sky. It's the deep, steady rumble of a Ram engine. A sound that doesn't just speak of power, but of promise. A promise of another day's work done, another challenge met, and the open road waiting for tomorrow. We've journeyed through the heart of what it means to build, to strive, to push forward. We've seen how steel and circuits can come together to create something more than just a machine. In every bolt, every weld, and every line of code, there's a story. A story of human ingenuity, of relentless dedication, and of a spirit that refuses to quit. Think about it. When you look at a Ram truck, what do you really see? You see more than a grille, more than a set of wheels. You see a testament to strength. Not just the strength to tow a heavy load or conquer a rugged trail, but the inner strength that gets a person up before dawn, day after day. It's the strength of character that defines our communities, the silent resolve that builds families and businesses from the ground up, and then there's perseverance. This truck is a symbol of it. It's built to endure, to keep going when the conditions are tough and the path is uncertain. Just like the people who drive them. The farmer who weathers a drought, the contractor who finishes a job against all odds, the parent who works 2 jobs to provide a better future. The Ram doesn't just navigate the road. It mirrors the journey of life itself, with all its bumps, its detours, and its long, hard climbs. It's a reminder that the most rewarding destinations are rarely reached by easy paths. The struggle is part of the story, and it's what makes the arrival so sweet. This isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It is about the pride you feel when you stand back and look at what you've accomplished. It's the pride in a job well done and a promise kept. The Ram truck embodies that pride. It's crafted with an attention to detail that shows respect for its driver and for the work it just meant to do. It stands tall, not with arrogance, but with the quiet confidence of knowing it's capable, dependable, and ready for whatever comes next. It's a moving monument to American determination. That determination is a force of nature. It's what took a collection of colonies and forged a nation. It's what turned prairies into breadbaskets and deserts into cities. It's the belief that with enough grit and a little bit of grace, anything is possible. This truck is infused with that same spirit. It's a partner in that pursuit, a tool that empowers dreams and turns aspirations into reality. It's not just built in America. It feels like it's built *of America. When you grip the steering wheel, you're not just in control of a vehicle. You're connected to a legacy. A legacy of builders, pioneers, and dreamers who saw a challenge and said, "Let's get to work." You feel the echo of every factory worker who poured their skill into its creation, every engineer who obsessed over its performance, and every driver who came before you using this very same kind of machine to build their own piece of the world. The sound of that engine isn't just noise. It's a heartbeat. A steady, powerful rhythm that says, "We're still here. We're still building. We're still moving forward." It's the soundtrack of progress, the anthem of the relentless. As this day closes, that rumble under the sunset sky is a powerful reminder. It tells us that while the sun may set, it will rise again tomorrow. And when it does, there will be new roads to travel, new challenges to face, and new horizons to chase. The Ram isn't just a truck, it's a promise on wheels. It's a declaration that we are, and always will be, built for the road ahead. It represents the best of us, our strength, our perseverance, and our unwavering pride in the journey. It's a testament to the idea that the greatest things we build are not just made of metal, but of the values that drive us forward. It's a symbol of our collective story, a story that's still being written 1 mile at a time. Thank you for joining us on this journey. It's been an honor to share these stories with you. If you've enjoyed this series and want to see more content that celebrates the spirit of building and striving, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have so much more to explore together. Until next time, keep driving forward.